Mercedes Benz. We love them for the fact that they are so very good at creating new niches and finding new products to enter into those niches. And we're not even talking about the nomenclature just yet. Now this, what we have behind me, is a Mercedes Benz GLA 250. The GL means that this is an SUV. But it looks like a hatchback to me. So we're going to find out exactly what is under the skin of this premium SUV that Mercedes-Benz calls the GLA. Let's talk about shoes for the car. Now this car comes with 19-inch wheels that has a 5-point star with a black in the middle and the brushed silver around it, which looks very smart. Of course, the tires that comes with it, 235/45/19 Bridgestone Dweller HP tires. And like I said, they're 19 inches. And because they're slightly bigger than what you normally get in regular hatches, it gives the car a much beefier look. Beefy also is thanks to this very decorative side step. Well, they're not really side steps, but side sill over here, which has these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 embossed design on it. Completely not necessary, but it does add, or rather lend an air of musculature to the car. That, along with the very prominent lines coming from the car, and also, I forgot to mention earlier, the two humps right down the middle of the boot, and the flat wheel arch over here with a very high shoulder line. This entire thing gives the car a very muscly look. But really, I want to have a look at the back here, so why don't you come with me? So this is really where you'll be able to very immediately tell the difference between the GLA and the A-Class, because if you're looking at the front, you might still be like, is this a GLA? Is this an A-Class? But once you get here to the back, you'll be able to tell immediately, because of course the A-Class has slightly squarish lights and the GLA has this longer design, and also paired with this chrome sill protectors over here, this just looks completely different, a completely different design language from the one that you see on the A-Class. And they look the business, they look very, very smart, and you'll be thinking, whoa, this is a handsome little piece of kit with this chrome bit here and the chrome bit there, and of course with the double tailpipes down back with the black diffuser down there. It just looks the business. A very handsome car indeed, but there's more to it. Ta-da! Very posh, eh? Now, this car comes with 421 litres of boot space, giving it, say, one of the biggest storage areas for a car in its class, and that's definitely a good thing. You can put the seats down and you can increase the entire volume all the way up to above 800 litres. So this is a very usable space in a car that actually doesn't look very big at all. In fact, it actually is not a very big car, because if you're thinking that Mercedes is positioning this against the likes of the Audi Q3 and also the BMW X1, this car sits smack bang in the middle in terms of size, because the X1 is bigger but the Q3 is size-wise, usable space-wise, smaller than this car. In the cockpit, it is a completely different thing. Put the key in, twist it, and righty-ho. We are right now in the cockpit of the Mercedes Benz GLA 250, and what a wonderful place to be in. This is a very nice design, and I have to say, I texted the PR for Mercedes Benz as soon as I picked up the car yesterday, saying to her that I will definitely mention that this gets the award of the best looking use of brushed metal surface in a car in the history of mankind, because this is just so beautiful. It looks very, very designer-ish, and that complements the rest of the car. The design is clean, it is very classy. You do get bits that are familiar to you, like this vents over here, this thought-splitting screen that you get up here, and also you've got the interface wheel that you have over here. You've got the eyes over there, and also the climate control down here. And what I love about the climate control is it gives you a sense of pleasure and also satisfaction to know that in a car that's so well designed and so techno advanced, you have a rudimentary way of selecting how cold you want your car to be, with a very simple dial over there, and also the temperature selection or thermostat over on the left side. The sitting position is wonderful. You do get this beautiful seat over here which comes with integrated headrest, and it's a very cost-cutting experience, and also it feels very, very nice. The steering is nice to hold. You've got just about enough buttons over here, and the silver accents are continued onto the steering wheel. The stitching it just looks absolutely perfect, and the quality of the materials used, of course, it's Mercedes Benz. There is no way you can fault them for that. Neither can you fault them for the build quality, the way things are put together. It is just so top-notch. Everything glides very, very gracefully. It's just a beautiful space to be in. Now, remember I mentioned that this is an AMG line car. What does that mean? It also means that you get AMG carpets to go along with the rest of the car. Now, you are okay looking at all this, and you look and you're thinking, hey, money well spent. But really, it's down to the drive, right? So we're gonna go for a drive right now. The best part about my job is I get to drive a myriad of different cars, and we really get to see what the differences are. And because I've driven the A-Class, I will be able to tell you exactly what is the difference between driving that and also driving this GLA-250. But as usual, we'll start with the numbers crunching session. The GLA-250 comes with a 2-litre turbocharged petrol engine. It pushes out 211 brake horsepower and about 350 Newton meters of torque. Now, this wonderful engine is, of course, paired with the 7G dual clutch transmission gearbox. It's a Mercedes Benz, so it's got to be an automatic, right? So yeah, so the combination of the petrol engine and also the 7G DCT proves to be a very smooth performer, very, very smooth performer, and it is wonderful to drive when you're driving sedately. It feels great. Of course, like I mentioned earlier, because the cabin is a wonderful place to be in, you feel closeted when you're driving in a very peaceful, serene kind of way. Again, the seats are wonderful. This Alteco Dinamica microfiber seats are just a joy to sit in. It may hamper your view a little bit, especially on the sides, but apart from that, you know, it's a wonderful place to be in. Now, about this drivetrain and also the performance that it gives you 211 bhp and 350 Newton meters of torque, as mentioned. So, you know, for a small-ish car like this, that's actually more than enough poke for you to have fun with. The steering is precise. It is the big wheels offer you a lot of grip, and also the 4MATIC all-wheel drive system that comes with the 250. They all prove to be able to work in tandem with each other, with the drivetrain, to provide a drive that is precise, it is sharp, and is quite a joy. The handling is wonderful. You get to put your foot down, and then you can feel the surge of the power being delivered to you, especially if you choose sport mode, like so. It's a very rapid car, very, very rapid car. You can choose to select your gears manually via the pedal shifters up here, of course. You can go to manual mode, and you can actually take care of everything yourself. So you call the shots, and you get to decide how you want the car to behave. The sport suspension that comes with the GLA-250 lowers the car up front by 15 millimeters and 10 millimeters at the rear axle. So you get a more dynamic driving sensation. However, because this is supposed to be a crossover, right, you actually do have an off-road option. Well, it's not really an off-road option per se, but it does tweak the way the transmission works. When you choose the off-road option, you do also get hill descent control in this thing. Of course, there's the entire suite of safety stuff that comes along with this car, inclusive of CD braking, where the car will brake for you in case it feels like a collision is imminent when you are driving at low speeds. And that's all very, very good. But all in all, it's a great package. Question is, do you really want to take it off-roading? It's too pretty lah, seriously. Ooh. Now, I'm not going to mask it, this car has got quite a few shortcomings, and two of the most major ones include the cramped space inside, especially for the rear passenger, and secondly, this confused identity that it has between being a car, a hatchback, an SUV, or even a crossover. But one thing I'll definitely give this car is that it is a very well made, very well thought of, very well designed, and is a solid piece of machinery, a solid drive this Mercedes car is. Now, coming back to our original question, whether this is a hatchback or an SUV or a crossover, gentlemen, this is a Mercedes Benz GLA 250. Everything else just does not matter because this car has got style.